I'm the principal of the intermediate campus. This is Teri Rodgers. She is our AP, which is going to be great to have this year. This is a fantastic turnout. I know that we want to get to know you. I know that you probably want to get to know us. So we'll be here when we're done with this. We're going to roll through this, not super quick, but be respectful of your time this evening. If you have specific questions to your specific student, please feel free to either talk to us tonight, call us tomorrow, shoot us an email. We're very accessible, and we'll make sure that we'll try to meet your needs as best that we possibly can. So, welcome to ACA. This is our 15th year of excellence, so this will be an exciting year. This is the banner and kind of the logo for this year, so you will see it on the website. You'll see it, just little bits and pieces here and there on the Facebook page. We may get a t-shirt out of it. We're working on it, but this is a very, very special year. The mission of ACA is to equip a diverse student body with a comprehensive education, including a student focus on Western civilization. Students develop a commanding knowledge of origins of our liberty and ability to sustain it through moral leadership. We aim to accomplish this goal don't have to memorize that. Through a high level of academic instruction and high behavioral expectations. We are a charter school. We have all of these same accountability as a state-funded school, as any ISD, and we continue to meet or exceed state expectations without the same access to public funds that traditional public schools or ISDs have. And y'all are the key. You keep us going year after year. We were founded by parents. Your voice is heard, and we have an open door. We want to hear what you've got to say. And your participation and support is crucial to your student success and the success of our campus. So what can you do? Make sure that your contact information is accurate in school reach. Review the handbook and the code of conduct with your child. And there are a few little changes to that, so we'll highlight some of them, but the specifics, please go through so we're not surprised. Join the official ACA Facebook page. Become a volunteer. I know they tell me that it's the official one. And see the student handbook, parent involvement in school compact for more information. You get that, you sign it, you return it. So how do you know what's going on at school? The parent portal through the website, your teacher web pages and through conferences, and the curriculum online access at home. And just a side note, this year with the new state adoptions and the curriculum, there is a lot of online access that you can get to at home. So we really are encouraging you to become familiar with that and use it and support your kiddos while they're at home with you. Safety is our priority. We had a safety audit last year, and the result of that are many safety procedures that are put into place that were already in place. And we've decided this year that we are adding the Raptor system. If you have kids, if you've been in another school district that's had the Raptor system, it's very thorough. It's super easy. You walk in, give your valid driver's license to the front desk. They take it. They print out like a 3x5 sticker with your driver's license picture on it. So I'm just going to say, it's like one of those things. It's going to happen. And if you don't have a sticker, someone will stop you on campus and make sure that you go back, get a sticker. Everyone who enters the building will be required to go through Raptor. So if they're repairing the refrigerators out here or they're conducting a presentation in the gym, everyone will have a sticker. So safety is our number one concern.
Give her a breather. Hi, I'm Teri Rodgers. I'm just the new assistant principal at the intermediate campus, and I just want to say thanks so much for coming out. Most of you probably haven't had dinner yet, and I appreciate you all coming out. And like Dr. Lewis said, there'll be many opportunities for you to come and visit with us more throughout the year, but this is, I mean, a great turnout, and first of all, just thanks, I just want to say thank you. ACA strives to be a good neighbor within our community, so please help us when we have heard numerous times about the traffic around ACA. So when you're driving, please make sure that you're waving with all fingers and being nice with your cell phone and being a good neighbor when you're in the parking lot. And I say that jokingly because we did have situations that did happen at other campuses. I'm not saying here, but we did have notes that we had to send home. Please make sure you're waving with all fingers. Make sure that you're following the lovely drop-off and traffic flow that you will hear so much about. I know Mr. Flood and Dr. Lewis have sent that letter out. It may be confusing. It's going to be a transition for all of us, so please just be patient with us. Dr. Lewis and I are learning as we go, and with the staggered start time and dismissal time, it's going to be a little bit different. But we are working really hard. We shared with our campuses today duty schedules. You will see lots of grown-ups out on duty. You'll see people at the gates. You'll see people walking like you have in the past. We're going to do whatever we can to make it as easy of a transition as possible. If there's things that you see that can be improved, please don't hesitate to come and let us know either. Okay? But we want to make it as safe and user-friendly for everybody. We had a city meeting with ILT and our ACA and the city board, and so they did do the staggered times. They're asking that you use the left-hand lane on South Bowen unless you're planning on passing, unless you pass Barden. Use the left turn lane on Barden from Cooper rather than traveling north on Bowen and attempting to U-turn. From what I can tell, and this probably makes a whole lot more sense to most of you because you have lived this already, Dr. Lewis and I are going to have to live it and breathe it ourselves this first few weeks. Do whatever you can not to have to do a U-turn. Do whatever you can to avoid Barden and around the ILT traffic. We want to be good neighbors with ILT. We want to be good neighbors with Wimbledon and the neighborhood across from us as well. So whatever we can do to simplify that process. As you can see, if I can, right about when you come in, that second arrow right there, that's where the new building is and the gates are. Those gates, part of the new part is that those gates are going to be staying open until 8:30, even though the intermediate campus starts at 8:15. So we will still have traffic going around and behind our building to drop off for middle school. And that's what we're having to kind of buckle down and try to keep things safe while we have students traveling back and forth to that new building. So we're working on it. We're going to have somebody at the gate at all times. And as soon as 8:30 turns, the gate will shut. Kids will be behind closed doors. Everybody will be pushed out around the portables, through the gates, and then the gates will shut again. So everybody will be behind gates, and we'll just flow all the way around, and we should be okay. So that's the plan. Cross your fingers and say a lot of good things for us that first day of school, okay? Pick up. When you pick up, we're going to go through those gates again. Thanks, Dr. Lewis. Thanks to be Vanna here. We're going to have 2 lines in the back, like you've had in the past. If you do not have any middle school students, you will get to be driving in between the intermediate campus and the castle. And that's where the singles will be picked up, and I call them M&Ms, the mixed multiples that are only intermediate students. So if you don't have anybody in middle school, you can drive around and you can pick up in between the castle and the intermediate building. If you do have somebody over at the middle school campus with Mr. Flood, you'll have to come all the way around by the portables to get all of your kiddos. That's the difference. We're trying to separate, kind of divide and conquer. So the middle school will be coming over to this side and the portables, and so we're trying to bring part of the traffic over this way. If you only have an intermediate kiddo, you'll get to drive around back, come to the middle by the castle, pick up your kiddo, and go on home. I know a lot of you also pick up at Rush Creek. We are going to have a rush team again, and we're going to have 4 or 5 people walking, police officers, volunteers, that will be walking down to Rush Creek as well. So we already have that set up as well. Okay? Is that as clear as mud?
Back on that last slide, it looks like we have one more entrance. And your diagrams than we actually have out here.
Thank you, Miss. Right. Show me blue, green.
The arrows coming in, we don't have 3 in.
You come in right here.
It's both sides of the
Green
sign.
is out. Yes, sir. Okay. Kind of makes sense. Trust me, there'll be a lot of grown-ups out and about that day. We may even have on orange vests. Who knows? Okay.
I'm just briefly going to touch on Title I. It really is just a general term for funds that are provided to ACA from the federal government through TEA that assists ACA meeting the standards of what's known as No Child Left Behind. We use ACA Title I targeted assistance is part of Title I Part A, and it's used only for supplementary, never say that word, educational services for children identified as being most at risk for not meeting state standards. We use the Title I funds to provide small group instruction for students that meet a certain criteria, and a percentage of the funds is set aside for summer learning opportunities for students who meet certain criteria. How will your child be assessed? Remember, we are a public school, so we are held to the same testing standards as every other public school in the state, and we teach the TEACs, and we are assessed through the State of Texas Academic Assessment for Academic Readiness, which is the STAR, until the end of 8th grade, if they are taking 8th grade courses, and then our EOCs for biology and algebra at the middle school. So if you've got a mixed multiple, that was kind of, Mr. Floyd and I were going to tag team that one. We also provide the Iowa Test of Basic Skills, or ITBS, to let you know how your students are doing along their educational journey. We are planning that for October. We don't have specific dates yet, but know that it's coming in. And we will use additional assessments in the classroom. Okay, we are an accelerated instruction model. Your students receive more information at a quicker pace compared to a traditional public school. At the intermediate campus, our academic expectations are high rigor in all content areas, quality, rich, and varied instructional practices, engaged in interactive learning at all times, and an increased level of students' response to applied knowledge in all content areas. We want them not just to learn it, but actually apply it and carry it over to other content areas.
Most of you already know, get on this side, that we focus on, we have 4 major character traits: wisdom, vigilance, courage, and strength. Another new asset that we have to the intermediate campus, we were also able to hire a second counselor for our campus. We've had in the past, Ms. Garcia was K through 8. This year we were able to add another counselor who is going to be sharing this campus with us as well as with the primary campus. Being a former counselor, that's huge because that means more character traits, character learning, social skills, problem-solving skills that you're going to be, your students are going to have time to learn about, problem solve, other than just academic problem solving in the classroom. So that's a huge plus. Intermediate school importance is placed on character being a good citizen, recognizing the importance that school is a dynamic environment where all are treated with respect. A lot of times we don't always agree with everything that people do, believe, or say, but we do need to treat them with respect and dignity, and that's something that we want to teach our students, even when we disagree, to treat them with that respect. At the middle school, the students set the example for younger students at ACA to follow. Their leadership and involvement in community service, like Griffin's Goodfellows and clubs, students will see how they can impact the world around them. Okay. How many of you have already read your student handbook? Online, right? Oh, my stars. Attendance. Students must be in attendance on the first day of school. They will be considered a no-show. So make sure that your students are here If for some reason there is an unexpected circumstance, make sure that you do call in, that you do use that parent portal, and that you do let us know where your student is, because that could result in them being withdrawn and possibly their spot being taken. State law requires that the students be in attendance each school day for the entire period of instruction, otherwise absent for reasons noted in the law. If a student accumulates more than 4 absences within 6 months, a doctor's note for each absence for illness afterwards must be provided. If your student is at the doctor, we want that note always though, okay? If they're ever sick, please make sure that you are calling in. I actually had a discussion today with one of the attendance clerks. Make sure that there's an icon on the ACA website. Click on it, it goes straight to one of our attendance clerks, emails the reason. That's documentation why your kiddo's not at school, and that's all we need, okay? Excessive absences, unexcused for partial or whole days could jeopardize your child's ability to attend ACA next year. Truancy could be filed, we could be going to court, and your child may not be returning next year. So it's really important that you let us know why they're out and that we document whether it's valid or excusable. Children will not be permitted to be picked up early after these certain times. The reason for the times, intermediate's 3 o'clock, middle school's 3 o'clock, because around that time we are traveling, we are transitioning. Even though we all have walkie-talkies, we can't always get the message to everybody that needs it. And it causes a lot of chaos, and we want to make sure for safety that your child gets to you where you're going to be. So if you need to notify your child of a different way home or a different route, please let us know prior to 3 and no early pickups before that. This ACA has always welcomed parents who celebrate their child's birthday. I think this is going to be, this is a new addition to the handbook. However, due to Texas Administrative Code law, we cannot allow foods identified as minimal nutritional value, such as soda, candy, cupcakes, excuse me, onto any campus at any time during the school day, except for 3 allowable school-wide celebrations. Usually what happens is the school will pick 3, possibly holidays, end of the year, and we can only get 3, okay? Other than that, we cannot have any cotton candy, popcorn, birthday cake, cookies, cupcakes, which I know burst a lot of kids' bubbles in here as I'm saying that, right? So you have to save the birthday cake, the ice cream, and the candy for at home and on the weekends. Food cannot be brought in at lunchtime. It cannot be brought in at the end of the day. It cannot be brought in for parties unless it's designated by the campus that it's an okay one of those 3 days. Okay, I think that's a new rule for this campus or this district. I see lots of wheels turning. Yes, but just check because I do know we have some allergies. So be sure to double check. Thank you, though. Pencils, stickers, bubbles, just not sparklers. Roman candles, that glitzy, trinket little things, that's okay. Just no food, no cookies, and not even at the end of the day at dismissal. Yes, sir.
Cookies and cakes and whatnot, that's only for parties and stuff, but you can still pack your own kids' lunch however you want.
Yes, sir. Good question. Just you can't bring it for the class of 20 and then share at the end of the day. And on that note, I will share, it is really important. I know it's a hard lesson. We teach our kids to share with others. But in the world that we're in right now, we have to be really, really careful because we don't know everybody's allergies and, sensitivities. So please make sure that your kiddos are keeping those homemade specialties to themselves and not sharing at lunch either. Food services, cash or check payments made at any time during the regular office hours by the parent. Students may pay by cash or check between 8 and 8:30 each school day. Payments may also be made online. If you haven't used that system, it's a great system. It will even let you know when it's low, and you can do it all online. This is another new addition. In today's world, with everybody having a smartphone, cell phone, type electronic, we are going to be following along with a lot of the public school rules with students are not going to be allowed to have their cell phone on them on campus or on school grounds. They can have it in their backpack, they can have it in their locker, but if it is on them and it goes off, whether it vibrates, it dings, it rings, it's taken up. The first time it'll be taken up and it'll be a visit to the office and we'll have a pep talk in the morning on what's expected. The second time and further, it'll be taken up and there'll be a $15 charge. And the parent will need to pick it up. Okay? There will be some situations where the phones may be used for instructional purposes. Like some of the districts call it a BYOD, bring your own device. And it can be used for that. If it's not specified as an instructional use, the phone will be taken up if it goes off and interrupts instructions. Okay? Questions? Yes, sir. It would be after school, but if you're waiting in line, one of the things Dr. Lewis and I had talked about is if you're waiting in line to be picked up, we'd like for it not to be on because you could be playing a great Candy Crush game and not pay attention when your mom or dad comes through. If it's at H&H, that'll be H&H's rules. Or if it is, a gym class or tutoring, and the tutor says it's okay, that's fine. But while we're waiting to get traffic out and the traffic flow out, we prefer for it not to be on. And then parents, be careful not to have yours on in the traffic flow when they're in the school zones. Okay. Uniforms and dress codes. Dr. Lewis is an expert at this.
It doesn't matter what school I'm at, I always get dress code. So, yes, I feel quite well trained, especially talking about shoes. So, there was some communication sent out over the summer and available online, and that's the path you would take. The uniform and dress code was a collaborative effort of parents and staff that served on the committee to review current uniform supplier and make a recommendation to the board. It wasn't just one person that decided, hey, we're going to go closely this color too. It was a group effort. Mills is the uniform vendor for ACA. The prior dress code is being phased out completely over time, and I looked through it right before I walked in here, and it looks like it's spelled out well enough to clear up any confusion. If you do have confusion or questions, please give us a call, shoot us an email, let us know, and we will attempt to answer that. I will tell you, the red shirt, this is the last in here for the red shirt, so just so that we can put that to rest. Please look at the consistent use of uniforms for students' work clothes. When you get ready to get up and go to work in the morning, you put on your work clothes. When our kiddos get up in the morning and put on their uniforms, those are their work clothes. It tells them psychologically, I'm ready to go to school, I'm ready to learn. When they go out for a ball game and they put their uniform on, it tells them, all right, I'm ready to play. So we look at the uniform as essential to part of their school day, and you're dressed for academic success. Okay. This is one of the last slides for those of you that are like melting in the back, and I apologize for that. Mr. Flood and I have talked about this and Ms. Rodgers extensively, and we are going to do everything that we can to be consistent on both campuses. Just know that that attempt and the fidelity to stick to that is we will make every effort. If you think about the shoes, predominantly one color is stated in the student handbook, and it gives you the colors. The expectation is that you will make the greatest attempt to maintain the dress code because it's important for all of us to maintain the dress code. I know that it is difficult when you walk into Academy to find the shoes that meet this and that meet the expectations of your 10-year-old. I completely understand that. And I know what that battle looks like. I've lived it, I've been there, I'm still doing it. And I think the best explanation to everybody is we are going to be consistent. And if we call or ask you, hey, neon pink is not one of the colors, and I get that the shoelaces are black, this isn't gonna work. 14 different shades of blue. It's blue. It's different shades of blue. I'm good with blue. But really being reasonable about what is out there for the consumer and what the expectation is and the commitment to the uniform that we choose to have, that you choose to bring your students here to wear. Specific concerns, like I said, Mr. Flood and I and Mr. Rodgers, we are all about being consistent. So that is our attempt this year for being consistent. And I apologize in advance for your standing in academy and the neon purple Nike free runs are exactly what your kid is set on for the year, and they just don't match our flag. Before we kind of break and open this up for questions, I know that Mr. Hurd would like to speak real briefly on homework and health. He's got paperwork and information, and then we will come back together real quick and then break for questions.
All right. Well, it's definitely great to be back, and you know, ACA always does it well. You do what's unexpected. We didn't expect this many people, but you know, hey, we go with it, and it's just great to see the parent involvement. That's one of the things that I love about ACA. I've been here since 2002, so I teach PE. For those who don't know me, my name is Jesse Hurd II, or you can call me Coach Hurd, or if you forget all that, just call me Coach. I'm here to share about a couple things. Do we have any middle school parents in here? Okay, well, I got two things for you, and for the intermediate parents, I just have one. All right, we have a program called Homework and Health, short H&H. Okay, so that's what we call it. It's been around since 2005. This is going into our 9th year. We started with 20 students. Last year, we had 100 students per month. So the program has grown. It's made a lot of money for the school. Every dollar that's profited, after we pay everything, it goes back to the school. But basically, it's a great program. It's not daycare, it's a program. And we try to do, we actually work with the kids with their homework. We have 20 teachers who are involved in the curriculum, who knows the curriculum, and who can help your kids with anything that they're going through. But also, we're trying to enhance our program. It is called Homework and Health, so we're really trying to get our health up to standards, trying to get some other programs to work with us to really give the kids a great experience. This is our 4th year. We had one campus. This is our 4th year doing 2 campuses, still trying to work it all out, but it's been going pretty well. So that's Homework and Health. Our first sign up or early sign up will be at the Back to School Bash and on Saturday. So we have forms online. I have a few forms here. You can fill them out, but really we're not asking for payment until August 9th. We're not really prepared, ready for that today. So, but if you're interested after August 9th, you can start signing your kids up. Let's see. For my middle school parents, this is our 4th year having an athletics program. Okay, we offer cross country, we offer basketball, and we also offer track. Our students have done very well. Last year, we had both our cross country teams won the small school cross country championship, boys and girls. We had 2 girls qualify for the junior national down in, it was in San Antonio. Did very well, finalists in the Junior Olympics. This past year, our first year being a part of the Texas Charter School Academic League, our middle school girls won their division, won a playoff game. That was our first time being in this league, and they did very well. In this ending in track, our girls, our 8th grade girls team won the Texas Private School League. So we got great athletes, as we have great students. We have great athletes, we have great kids with academics, we have it all. So that's the athletic program. We are going to have officially an athletics meeting that will talk more in detail about the whole year, the schedule and everything. I will tell you, we will have practice times, conditioning, we'll talk about all that, but if you haven't got a physical, your child, they're going to participate in cross-country, basketball, or track, they need to get a physical before they participate. So physicals, you can go to neighborhood doc, I think it's about $15 or $20 to get a physical. But they would need that before they're able to attend practice or competitions. We are going to have a cross-country meeting August 14th. For those who are participating in cross-country, it will be specifically talking about the season. But like I said, if your kids are generally interested in any athletics program we have, we're going to have that meeting August 19th at curriculum night for the middle school. So I will be around after everything. If you want to ask some questions, I'll be in the gym. And I'll leave some forms and flyers for H&H right there.
This pretty much concludes the meeting. If you are an expert ACA parent and you've got it all down and you're good, please don't feel like you need to stay. Just Rodgers and I will be up here.